This guy blamed the Philippines for ruining his retirement. Said the country let him down. Said the health care was terrible. Said the cost of living wasn't what he expected. Said nobody warned him. And I found out he moved here without no emergency fund, no health care plan, and just enough money to survive if absolutely nothing went wrong. But that's when realization hits. You know, the Philippines isn't ending retirement dreams. Bad planning is. And today, I'm going to show you the 5 retirement fantasies that quickly destroy more expats than scams, typhoons, inflation, and almost everything else combined, because one of these mistakes is probably sitting in your plan right now. And most people never see it until it's too late. One thing I notice is that people rarely blame themselves when something goes wrong. It's the government's fault. It's the country's fault. It's the economy's fault. It's somebody else's fault. Now, don't get me wrong. The Philippines isn't perfect. Not even close. Sometimes, yes, the power goes out. Sometimes paperwork takes forever. Sometimes you wonder if a simple task somehow entered a different dimension and may never return. But I've met guys living happy lives here, and they're doing it on modest budgets. And I've met guys with twice the money who were miserable and booking flights home. The difference wasn't the Philippines. The difference was expectations. And that's where things get interesting, because the biggest retirement killer isn't what most people think. This one gets more people every single year. A guy visits the Philippines, spends 2 weeks in paradise. The beer is cheap, the food is cheap, the hotels seem affordable, the massages cost less than a lunch break back home. He starts doing math, but it's dangerous math. The kind of math that's usually done on a napkin after the 3rd beer. And then suddenly, he's telling everyone he can retire here for next to nothing. Then reality arrives, because reality always arrives. Usually without calling first. Suddenly there's rent, air conditioning, internet, visa expenses, medical expenses, transportation, unexpected travel. You got family emergencies, things break, fans die, phones quit, motorcycles, they decide they no longer believe in what forward momentum is, and all these little expenses start stacking up one on top of the other like tiny financial ninjas. Nobody worries about one expense. The problem is 50 expenses, what it costs to live here. The honest answer, it depends. And I know that's not an exciting answer. Everybody wants a magic number. They want somebody to say, well, you need exactly this much money. But life doesn't work that way. Your lifestyle matters, your location matters, your health matters, and your habits matter. The guy eating local food every day, he's got a different budget than the guy searching for imported bacon like it's buried a pirate treasure. The point isn't that the Philippines is expensive. The point is that retirement plans built entirely around everything is cheap are usually fragile. And fragile plans break, especially when life starts doing what life always does, being unpredictable. This one scares me more than a money issue, because money problems usually give warnings. Health problems don't. They don't always send a calendar invite first. I've met plenty of guys who proudly announce they're healthy. Great, that's fantastic. I hope they stay healthy for another 50 years. But retirement planning isn't about today. It's about tomorrow. It's about the next year. It's about the random Tuesday nobody saw coming. The reality is simple. As we get older, things wear out. Our knees, backs, eyes, shoulders, patience, especially patience. And when something happens, your entire retirement can change overnight. A lot of people move to the Philippines thinking healthcare is something they'll figure out later. That's like buying a parachute after jumping out of a plane. Probably not ideal. The question isn't whether you're going to need healthcare. The question is whether you've thought about it before you need it. Because when emergencies happen, that's a terrible time to begin researching your options. Imagine trying to compare hospitals while you're sitting in one. That isn't preparation, that's panic, and panic is expensive. Now we're stepping into dangerous territory. I can hear keyboards warming up already. Relax, I'm not attacking relationships. I'm talking about expectations, because some guys arrive believing they've discovered the life cheat code. They think a relationship automatically solves loneliness, purpose, happiness, direction, meaning, stress, boredom. Sometimes I think people expect relationships to fix their internet connection too, but that's never going to happen. It can absolutely improve your life, that's for sure, but it can't become your entire life. I've seen guys build their entire world around one person. No hobbies, no friends, no interests, no community, nothing. Their whole existence revolves around a relationship. And that's a huge amount of pressure for anybody. The healthiest couples I've seen here live beyond each other. You got friends, projects, goals, activities, things they enjoy independently. The guys that struggle are often the ones who arrive expecting another person to carry the full weight of their happiness. That never happens. That's a job nobody can do. Not in the Philippines, not in America, not anywhere. And here's the uncomfortable truth. Sometimes the relationship isn't the issue. Sometimes the expectations are. And that's a much harder thing to admit. This one might be the biggest trap of all, because it starts with something real. The Philippines is beautiful. There are amazing beaches, amazing people, amazing experiences, but eventually vacation ends, life begins, you've got bills, responsibilities, stress, laundry. Yeah, somehow laundry always survives every retirement dream. Nobody makes retirement videos about laundry. Because it's just not beautiful. It's not glamorous. Yet somehow there it is, waiting patiently like a tax collector with fabric softener. The point is that every day, life eventually replaces vacation mode. Some people aren't ready for that shift. During vacation, every little challenge feels like an adventure. After 2 years, not always. The power goes out. Again. The internet disappears. Again, the roads flood again. Now those things feel different because this isn't vacation anymore. This is a home, and home comes with real life frustrations. The people who thrive here understand that, and the people that struggle often spend years comparing reality to their vacation memories. And reality loses every time because vacation memories are edited highlights. Real life includes bloopers. Lots of bloopers. Now, at this point, you might be thinking, none of this applies to me. Maybe, and I hope that's true, but every person I've seen struggle thought the exact same thing. Nobody plans to fail. Nobody moves overseas expecting disaster. Nobody says, my retirement strategy is mostly hope and wishful thinking. Yes, that's exactly what some plans become, and the next mistake is probably the one that catches more people than anything else, because it has nothing to do with money, nothing to do with relationships, nothing to do with healthcare. It's much harder to see and much harder to fix. Now this one is sneaky, because there's a little truth inside it. Moving somewhere new can absolutely change your life. New people, new culture, new experiences, new opportunities. But here's what doesn't change. You. And that's the part a lot of people forget. If you're unhappy back home, moving might help, or it might not. If you're lonely back home, moving might help, or it might not. If you're bored, frustrated, angry, negative, or lost, those things often get on an airplane with you. A different location doesn't automatically create a different person. I've met expats who are genuinely happy here. When you talk to them, you notice something. Their happiness didn't start in the Philippines. The Philippines gave them a place to enjoy it. Big difference. I've also met people who complain about everything. I'm sure you've met them as well. They complain about everything. The weather, the roads, the prices, the food, the internet, the neighbors, the government, the dogs, the chickens. Sometimes I think if they found a beach made entirely of gold, they'd complain about the glare. Where the hell are my sunglasses? It's too bright out here. Because the issue isn't really the environment. The issue is the mindset they brought with them. And that's a hard conversation because nobody likes hearing it. It's much easier to blame a country. It's harder to look in the mirror, but that's usually where the answers are. Here's the interesting thing. The guys who seem happiest aren't always the richest. They're not always the youngest. They're not always the smartest. They're usually the most realistic. They understand that every country has problems. America has problems. The Philippines has problems. Canada has problems. Europe has problems. You know what? Mars probably has problems and nobody even lives there yet. The difference is that successful expats stop looking for perfection. They start looking for fit. And that's a completely different goal. The Philippines doesn't have to be perfect. It just has to fit the life you're trying to build. That's why some people absolutely love it here and others leave disappointed. They're judging the same place through completely different expectations. And one person arrives expecting paradise. The other person arrives expecting reality. Guess which one handles challenges better? Yeah, the reality-based person wins almost every time. Because when problems appear, they aren't shocked. They expected some problems. And expectation definitely changes everything. I remember talking with an older expat who'd been here for years. Not a rich guy, not flashy, not living some luxury influencer lifestyle, just happy, genuinely happy. And I asked him what made the difference, and his answer kind of stuck with me. He said, well, I stopped trying to recreate America in the Philippines. That's it. That was his answer. Simple, brilliant, and probably worth more than most retirement seminars, because a lot of people move overseas while mentally refusing to move overseas. They want different prices, but familiar systems. Different culture, but familiar behavior. Different country, but somehow exactly the same experience. That's impossible. If you move somewhere different, things are going to be different. That's the entire point. The people who accept that tend to adapt. The people who fight it, well, they tend to struggle. And adaptation definitely matters. It matters more than income, more than location, more than almost anything. So let's put all 5 fantasies together. Fantasy number 1, everything will be cheaper. Fantasy number 2, I'm healthy, so I don't need a healthcare plan. Fantasy number 3, a relationship will solve everything. Fantasy 4, living here is basically one long vacation. And fantasy 5, a new country automatically creates a new life. Every one of those, they sound reasonable at first. That's why they're dangerous. The retirement dreams that survive are built on reality, not fantasy. Not YouTube highlight reels, not vacation memories, reality. The people who succeed here, they plan for problems. They budget for surprises. They prepare for healthcare. They build communities. They develop purpose, and they understand that moving to another country doesn't automatically and magically erase every challenge. It simply gives you a new place to build a life. And that is really the difference. And once you understand that, everything starts making a lot more sense. The Philippines didn't fail these expats. It was their plans that failed them. And that's actually good news, because if the problem is planning, you can fix it. You can prepare. You can adjust. You can learn from other people's mistakes instead of making every single one yourself. And that's a whole lot cheaper, not to mention less stressful, because the goal isn't finding a perfect country. Excuse me. The goal is building a retirement that can survive reality. And reality has a funny way of showing up, whether you're in Texas, California, Samar, Cebu, or anywhere else on Earth. be excellent to each other. This is never about the Philippines. It's how you show up when you get here, and we'll see you in the next video.